Welcome back to Games Revealed. I am James and also the Brink, and we are one community. Today, we're going to be talking about Yuzu versus Nintendo and Nintendo Switch, because Yuzu's a Nintendo Switch emulator. So, that's the big talk today. We could go into other things, anything that people want to talk about. Maybe I'll talk about some games like Helldivers 2 I finally talked about, or played, I should say. And honestly, like, I know every week I say, I'm going to keep this one a little shorter, like an hour, because an hour is reasonable. I don't know. We might, because I really want to go play Helldivers 2. Maybe I'll even play it on stream for the last 15, or I'll do a mission. We'll see. Does not matter, because this is an exciting topic today. Let me just double check a couple of things real quick. Let me just double check. Okay, just making sure people know in the Discord. Okay, so give it a few more minutes for people to pop in, and then we'll officially start. So we'll just talk about a little bit about this. I guess we can talk about. Let's talk about. I know I'm all over the place. Let's talk about the PlayStation layoffs, the Sony layoffs. I did a video. It's going to come out in the next day or two. And the Sony PlayStation layoffs affect a lot of the games that they were working on, and also their VR. Just as a heads up, this is kind of like an overview while we wait for people. And so if you liked the PlayStation VR, I think some of the titles are going to be shut down, maybe even the studios. Like, it looks like some of the studios, and maybe not all of them, but a big chunk of them were being done over in the UK. And the CEO that's retiring soon went to the UK office 6 days before they announced layoffs and that they were shutting down the UK office, essentially. So pretty messed up. It's a wild world out there for game devs and everyone else. Welcome, Wolf. We'll see. I know my streaming has been on here for the Games Revealed has been a little up and down, so we'll probably get people trickling in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So then let's continue on with this while we wait for people to trickle in. So yeah, the Sony PlayStation layoff stuff is going to affect. It's not going to affect. It's going to affect the Uncharted devs, Naughty Dog. It's going to affect I think all the major studios for the most part. But the only game, like a lot of the major IPs that were in development, aren't going to be canceled for them. The only one was Twisted Metal, which was going to be a live, live. What is it called again? It's an always online game, live service game. And so yeah, how you doing, Wolf? By the way, okay, let's dive into this Yuzu stuff. Raichi Jimbo left his kids at Disneyland and never came back. Jimbo, wait. Who left it? Everyone left it? Naughty Dog also makes The Last of Us, right? Yes, Naughty Dog makes The Last of Us. And yeah, they make The Last of Us, and yeah, and Uncharted. Okay, so, Jim Ryan, yes. Jim Ryan, PlayStation CEO, yes. Okay, I wasn't quite catching that, Raichi, thanks. So yeah, Jimbo left his kids at Disneyland and never came back. Oh, that's so sad. That would be the worst. He goes to their office, takes them to like Disneyland UK, which I don't know if there's a UK over there. Takes them all the fun rides and everything, and then just like at the end of the day, he's like, get the out of this office. We're shutting down. It was fun knowing you guys. You can get the hell off my property now. And shuts the doors on him. Obviously, he didn't do that. And these things are complicated, but still kind of a messed up thing to do, to go visit. And like, it's just messed up. Sorry. Yes, exactly. I feel like I have an eyelash. I need to stop looking at my thing. Okay, so let's summarize what's going on with the Nintendo Yuzu lawsuit. So Nintendo has filed a federal lawsuit against Tropic Hazard, the company behind the Yuzu emulator, in the Rhode Island's District Court, which is an interesting one. I thought Nintendo's like headquarters was in Washington, but maybe they file in Rhode Island. I don't know the legal system, so well, it is a federal lawsuit, so I don't know. Yuzu itself is simply an emulation program that allows users to port and play their Nintendo games onto other devices such as Windows, PC, Linux, Android. You can also do it on the Steam Deck, etc., etc., etc. And Nintendo claims in its lawsuit that while emulation in and of itself is not illegal, Yuzu has been facilitating widespread piracy of Nintendo games by bypassing Nintendo's encryption. One of Nintendo's greatest pieces of evidence is from the 2023 release of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. The game was leaked 2 weeks prior to its May 12th release, resulting in over 1 million copies pirated and played. Nintendo claims that many of those 20% pirated copies of the game were made playable through the Yuzu emulator, which I have no clue how they found that out. Maybe they had some spyware in there, which a little bit of a violation to people. And if that's true, honestly, if it's 20%, like let's saying that of the Breath of the their 2023 release of Legend of the Breath of the Wild, even if that was true, like 20% was played in the Yuzu emulator, that could have been people backing up their copy and just playing it on the computer or somewhere else that they like. Because I'll be honest, the Switch isn't the most pleasant device these days to play games on. I'd rather play it on my main PC with a controller. It's just going to be more pleasant at this point. Just depends. So I wouldn't say 20% of the Yuzu emulator or 20% of the games playing was on an Yuzu emulator means they were all pirated. If they were, then I'd actually be on Nintendo's side, kind of. Because that is really bad. It really is. Like pirating a game that you're not paying for is it, and I have a different take than a lot of people online. It's theft. I just don't think I think age and a lot of other things come into play with this socioeconomical stuff too. So I don't think people should be going to jail for it per se. Okay. Today, Yuzu provides any internet user in the world with the means to unlawfully decrypt and play virtually any Nintendo Switch game, including Nintendo's current generation and most popular games. And I'm going to get the chat here in a second, so don't worry. I just want to go do this overview, and we're going to go to an article and talk about it even further, because I really want a good discussion out of this. Decrypt and play virtually any Nintendo Switch game, including Nintendo's current generation and most popular games, without ever paying a dime for a Nintendo console or for that game. And to be clear, there is no lawful way to use Yuzu to play Nintendo Switch games, including because it was decryption of the games, because it must decrypt the game's encryption. The suit reads. This is, and that's not me saying it. That's from the suit that's being levied against him. Which honestly, like, if Nintendo wins this lawsuit, it sets a super dangerous precedent for upcoming just owning things and capitalism. Nintendo also claims that Yuzu Patreon page earns $30,000 from its patrons to give them access to things like early access and special unreleased features, which. And like that's the stupidest one of them all. Okay, let's say some hellos to some more people, and we're gonna dive into things here. Welcome, Chad, Cat, and Baby. Nicholas, welcome. Yuzu allows and helps people defeat copyright protections. Yeah, so copyright protections is not bad. I'm going to say this right now. Copyright protections is good. There needs to be, and people that are against it, like I know one streamer doesn't really understand the ramifications behind copyright. It's just big business is more protected than small business. That's where things need to change partially, and also individual copyright protection. Once you're a multi-billion-dollar company, I honestly don't care about your copyright that much. Necrosphere, welcome. Nicholas, Yuzu is not game preservation. It allows people to steal new games, some of which aren't even released yet. Yuzu is game preservation. It's not as much as some of the older emulators, and we can talk about that, Nicholas, if you want. If you want to use emulation for game preservation, then Yuzu should have come out 10 years when the games are getting rare and Nintendo wouldn't care. Millions of people are using it to steal games. Nintendo cares. Nintendo does care. No, I don't. In the sense of even the old games, they make tons of money off of their old games that they don't change anything about or anything with them, and then they go and use the emulators in their own software, the open source stuff. Reichi, make the switch to a powerful console. That this way it would be not worth it to emulate. Reichi, that's how it usually happens. Like the newest generations are really hard to decrypt, are harder to emulate, because emulating software usually, especially games, usually just the decryption and the emulation or the translation of that into what your computer's going to read, how it's going to read the game, is just not performant. Even on a really beefy PC, it's just, that's the only time you're going to maybe be performant. So you don't have a lot of people getting together to do it. Let's see here. Nicholas, Nintendo Switch is one of the best-selling consoles. It has nothing to do with performance. J-Bro, welcome. Nicholas, it doesn't set any dangerous precedents. Most emulation is for old games. Yuzu is used for new games. It's not the same. It is very much, it's not the same. Well, okay, like, whether it's old or new and with emulation, it does matter. It is very much the same as in if I want to emulate the game that I own, it should not depend on the company saying I can do that or not. And we're going to get into ownership and renting. And this is, and it is a dangerous precedent and we're going to go over the article that's going to talk about that in a second. Nintendo has gone after a lot of this, and the reason why backups was the way that a lot of lawsuits have won. They have gone after old games. Nicholas, this is not a new topic. This has been ongoing for a decade plus, with multiple companies trying to undercut emulation. But we can talk. We'll talk about that. J-Bro, I have a question. Do you recommend the Steam Deck dock? I do. If you don't want to think about things, it updates. Its compatibility, it will stay compatible. That is with the Steam Deck. As far as other Steam dock, it just depends. Like, if you're going to hook it up to a TV, then sure. Doing more than that, then maybe there's something more. Like, if you want storage options, there's other options. I have a video on it, but the Steam Deck dock is not bad. I recommend it. I think some people are going to say no, but simplicity's sake, it's not bad. You can get like a dock for cheaper that will do the same thing nowadays. Necrosphere, are you referring to the official Steam Deck dock or a third-party dock? I think he's referring to the Steam Deck dock. I have it, works fine. Reichi, playing games at 720p. yeah. Necrosphere, what Brink just said, you can get third-party docks for way less. There's other docks with storage. Yes, but I think there's not as many problems with it now, but you can get ones that have M.2s if you know how to format it properly for the deck. I'm sure there's guides on it now that are really easy. I don't have a guide to just put an M.2 drive in, and then once you plug it in, you get extra storage for your Steam Deck. I should probably do a video on that. It'd probably be on Hardware Revealed. I really do think I'm breaking off some of my videos and topics. If I do any more of my explainer hardware videos and stuff like that, it will be on Hardware Revealed. I feel like there's just too many different videos and stuff like that on this channel. The hardware revealed is a channel. It's just not set up fully yet. So I'm getting back into doing videos. I have 3 videos I'll be releasing over the next few days. Okay, so back into this. How strong is Nintendo's legal case against Switch emulator Yuzu? The federal lawsuit filed Monday in district, and we're going to read through this because I do apologize. We can keep on chatting, just we can make it fun, but this is important context, I think. Filed Monday in District Court of Rhode Island and first reported by Stephen Tatiello, I don't know, is the company's most expensive and significant argument yet against emulation technology that alleges turns general computing devices into tools for massive intellectual property infringement of Nintendo and other copyrighted works. Nintendo is asking the courts to prevent the developers from working on, promoting, or distributing the Yuzu emulator and requesting. And this is one of the problems I have. I have a big problem of I buy something, I own it, I can do what I want with it, I just can't resell or, let's say, tear it apart, reverse engineer, and then sell that reverse engineered schematic or something like that. There's stuff I can't do because it's copy protected and has protections. But like, I am really tired of companies coming in and saying I can't do what I, can't do anything or do something with something I bought. And Japan, especially, has a really bad culture of this. They even have banned, and I believe they've actually legally, and this is why I say this is dangerous precedence. I don't believe in a slippery hill thing, like typically. I think they're two different things. People on one side really likes to talk about slippery hills. I don't think they really exist per se, but a dangerous precedence in this case would mean less ownership of what we buy and more treating it more and more as we're renting the software from them. And I do not like that. I do not like that for preservation and also for the concept of I don't like the idea that I'm buying something and not actually owning it. Once again, I can't legally distribute that. I agree. I don't like piracy. I think piracy happens more from people that are poor. It's a socially economical thing. Like, I don't want to put poor people into jail over piracy, but something does need to happen there. But when it comes to me backing up my game and being able to play that wherever I want, should be fine and legal. And it should be allowed for obviously older games. And I honestly, what my answer to all this is, I just think we need a tech savvy Congress and essentially just a more tech savvy, younger federal government to implement better laws. I guess we can go into this, but I'll talk about some of the laws. I think after a game has reached a certain maturity, maybe let's say 10 years, or they're going to stop servers, maybe the game can be past 10 years, but I don't know. It should be legally allowed to then download that game and play it for preservation's sake. Just saying. I'm tired of this whole Disney being able to sell stuff or own things for 90 or 80, 90 years, 100 years now. I for preservation, like, because there's games that have, and I've talked about this in my podcast, there are games that came out a decade plus ago, the server shut down, there's no way to play the game now, you bought the game, it's worthless. I think they should be legally forced to release the source code for the servers so that you can host it yourself. Nicholas, you can't say that emulation isn't used primarily for stealing, and when an emulator is made for new games, you are stealing money from the developers. Nicholas, I can say that because you can't say one way or another. There is not enough proof to say that emulation is used primarily for stealing. Emulation doesn't actually do the stealing. There's a whole other process that Yuzu doesn't go over fully, of ripping the titles off. Where you get your game titles, that's a different story. But I can definitely say it isn't primarily, because we don't have statistics on this. Like, and it's nearly, unless they do some type of unless they put a way to some spyware into the games, even the ones that people download, which, who knows, maybe they are. I'm not a big fan of that. We're never going to find out. Next, don't complain about rising game costs, lack of physical games, or internet access requirements if you want to support stealing games. I don't. So here's the thing. Game costs rising, honestly, it hasn't risen that much compared to inflation. I don't think people understand that. People do not understand the economics behind games. They don't understand a lot of things on this. I'm very much in the middle grounds with all this stuff. And I'm going to get very preachy here and on and off during this. I'm a developer. I've released my own stuff. I've done a lot of different things when it comes to this. I definitely want developers to make more money. I am 100% for that. What I don't want is to see people take away our right to own a game. I don't want to see certain rights violated, because then we turn more and more into a rental, or we rent it / we stream it society, which I'm fine with. If they want to implement full streaming for Switch games and everything like that, go for it. And indicate that, hey, I'm paying $15 a month for the access to their games, go for it. I'm okay with that. It sucks with the catalyst of in 10 years they have to release those as into a vault where people can access it. I'm big into that type of thing. That being said, I think we could talk about after 10, 20 years preservations and stuff like that. If there's no easy way, maybe we could even, and that's why this is complicated. Maybe if there's no easy way to play the game in 10 years, then that's illegal. Or if they make sure that's easy to play and it's kept up and everything like that, then it's fine. That's my biggest problem, is preservation, right? A lot of games get lost in the sands of time. Raichi, if I cared for the piracy, I would just buy a hacked Switch. What I want is performance. Raichi's, I think, onto partially something there. I want, and I agree, I want a choice to play the games the way I want to play them. I buy all my games and then some. Nintendo games I have bought twice over. So developers are taken care of really well by me. But yeah, it's multiple reasons for that. Let's see here. Yeah, J-Bro, you can go, but just to go back, you can go and look at my videos. I do a video on all the docs, and it still stands up to this day. Necrosphere, this reminder for me to hurry up and download Yuzu emulator on my Steam Deck. I agree, Brink. Yeah, it really is. Honestly, I don't know if GitHub is going to... what this is going to do is just going to drain the Yuzu developers of a lot of financial money, because they're going to have to fight this lawsuit. At the end of the day, I don't actually think Nintendo is going to fully win this. What they're going to do is lock up and make it so Yuzu can't do much and is financially drained. Necrosphere, it's my product. I bought it. I can do what I want with it. Since I bought it, that pisses me off too. Yeah, 100%. With some caveats, like I said, it's copyrighted, or if there's trademarks, well, there's a lot of different things. I can't go resell it, but when I buy it, it's this digital thing. If I want to rip it off, play it on my computer, that should be no. It's just Nintendo and this is a Japanese cultural business thing. They like to have control over their creations, which as a creator myself, and who I'm in the middle of building my video game, which I'll have updates on very, very soon, because I have prototypes that I'm in the middle of. I don't care. If someone wants to mod my game to be the most stupidest game ever, whatever, I don't care. Do you. Just don't tell me about it, I guess. It's really bizarre that people care what other people do with their art, when most people are going to enjoy it, and then other couple of people are going to, modify it. Necrosphere, let's see. Necrosphere, I'll admit I have pirated games before, but usually to test out a game, then support the devs by buying it. Yeah, no. So way back in the day when it was a lot easier, LimeWire and all that, yeah, I would say I've done that too. I have bought almost all those games time and time again, meaning multiple times. So I don't feel too bad. Also, younger, whatever. I don't need to go into all that, but like for a very long time, I've bought games, make them accessible, make them easy to return. Because man, my mic's not. Make them easy to try. There's just a lot. Games are cost a lot, and demos are becoming a new thing, which is good. So it's complicated. Welcome, Cascutter. Cyberclue, welcome. If buying isn't owning, piracy isn't stealing. I kind of agree with that. I actually, Cyberclue, I think in the legal speak, I think that wouldn't be a bad idea to put like, hey, if I'm renting this from you, or maybe it is stealing, but like if I'm not buying this to own it, then if someone takes a copy, then it's not stealing. I kind of agree with that partially. Necrosphere Raichi. So GameStop's whole operation is against their policies then. Yeah. GameStop has had to fight a few things on that too. Cascoder, at this point, if you want Yuzu to win, people should give them Patreon money. It will take the community as a whole to fight this. It 100% will. Ray Cheap, game publishers are Harry Potter goblins. Oh, gosh. I like the box art. I hate when they release the PS1 mini and they put 80% trash games. Yeah, Ray Cheap. Okay, so the bulk of Nintendo's legal arguments rests on Yuzu's ability to break the many layers of encryption that protect Switch software from being copied and or played by unauthorized users by using so-called prod keys obtained from legitimate Switch hardware. Yuzu can dynamically decrypt an encrypted Switch game ROM at runtime. Yes and no. It's what it does is that this is how emulation works with Switch. The Switch has keys. It has signature keys. In order for a game to run properly, when you put the game in, it can check against its keys of the Switch that then unlock the game to allow it to play on the Switch. What Yuzu does is that a part of the emulation process, you can get those keys from your Switch, put them in, and it unlocks the game to allow it to play. That's what they're talking about. It's not technically breaking encryption in the full sense of it still goes that route. It does, like if it wanted to break decryption, it wouldn't take those prod keys and do that. You wouldn't need prod keys. And to be fair, honestly, unless it's intellectual property that is supposed to be fully private, I don't care that they're breaking encryption. Make it easier for me to play my Switch games. If Switch wants to like really, Nintendo, if you really want to fix this problem, and I'd support you just a little bit more on this problem, is if you'd make it more accessible. You worked with Yuzu to license things out to allow people to play things on the PC. I think that would be a win-win. I don't think you'd ever do it, but you would work with them to fight the piracy, because I agree. But here's another thing. To go get pirated games is not easy. So I would definitely say like, and it, third world countries might do it more. Socially economical, like just, I shouldn't say socially economic, but it is a social economic thing. But economically downtrodden communities, countries, stuff like that, are probably more likely to be pirate, which I don't care as much. They were never going to get that money anyways. What Nintendo is seeing is dollar signs, and I'm not like, once you go like really that crazy, I don't care. It pisses me off. Let's see here. Cascoder, at this point, if you, we already read that. Yeah, Raichi, I honestly, if they just released more Switches a little bit more often, they would be circumventing this. Like a Switch 2, on a main PC might be able to get emulated, but it's not going to be right away. Like, but on a Steam Deck and some of these other like lower end PCs, people are just not going to be able to play Switch games. So, release a Switch 2. It will fix a huge part of the problem that Nintendo perceives. But it's been proven time and time again that proven to a point that we can prove, like without true statistics, without true data behind this, that people, to surmise some of the studies, people that pirate would have never bought it. And then a lot of people that do pirate do buy it. But at the end of the day, like I've said, I'm against true piracy. I think you should be buying the game. I think if you're economically hurt, I think maybe a slap on the wrist of you have to buy the game now if you get caught. I know that's really, it's kind of a stupid concept, but I think that's the only way to legally or to like really do it. Because people getting thrown in jail for years is not the solution for an economically downtrodden community. But once again, what countries are these in? Is this even enforceable? That's the problem with a lot of this. Let's see here. Cascoder, I'd happily pay $60 for Nintendo games on PC. They will never do it. Yeah. And Cascoder, you want to know why they'll never do it? Is they want control. It's a big problem with Japan, is that they see multiple reasons behind it, but like Sony's wising up though. So maybe parts of Japan are changing their concepts on this, but like Sony, they plan to release more PlayStation games because they did not hit their earnings that they projected that they wanted to hit, their goals. They're releasing more games now for the PC because it's very lucrative for them. It doesn't cost them much more, especially as development is becoming more. It's essentially almost as easy to develop for the PlayStation as it is for a PC. Like, obviously, with some exceptions. I mean, some of the PlayStation games last year have issues, but I definitely think Nintendo would do really well. But I think there's, honestly, if they really cared, I think they would find a solution where both sides were happy. Raichi, even the PS4 emulation is far behind. Yeah, it is. Necrosphere, Nintendo wants to make the cheapest console, so I feel we'll always be able to emulate any Nintendo console. No, yes, depending on what PC. Steam Deck, no. Steam Deck will not. I can almost guarantee at this point, Steam Deck will not be able to emulate Switch 2. I can almost guarantee it at this point. There's Switch games I can't emulate very well. Luigi's Mansion 3 is one on my Steam Deck, so I just played on the Switch. J Bro, another question: what keyboard and mouse you recommend for Steam Deck? I have a traveling answer for that one video, whatever. It's the Razer. So J Bro, it's the Razer Ichi. What is it? It's like a small white Razer mouse that's has 3 different ways to connect, is one I recommend for it. And then 2, I recommend I apologize. I got over strep and now I have like a dry cough that just sucks. It's not here right now, but a Keytron K2 is a wireless keyboard that can also be plugged in, is another one I recommend for the Steam Deck. Those are the mouse and keyboards I recommend for the Steam Deck. I love them. They're portable with it. It's my favorite setup still to this day. I have a video on it too. I need to get my videos injected in here when you guys ask questions. Raichi, the Dolphin emulator took a while to be able to run games because it was a powerful console. Yeah, I agree with that. Nicholas, Nintendo's doesn't want to make the cheapest console. They want to be able to produce a high number of good games. You can do that while making games with super high graphics. You can't do that while making games with super. Yeah, you can. In my opinion. Sorry, Nicholas, I'm not meaning to like jump on you, attack you, or anything like that. You're just throwing out the ones that I'm like super. They're different than my opinion, which once again, makes for a good discussion. I disagree. I think The Last of Us, Naughty Dog, let alone shows that a good-looking game can be just a high producer. That being said, I think some of the Mario games look really good. I think it's about money, and they're not really thinking fully about it. So with the Switch, and plus they've almost failed in the past. Between from the Wii U, they almost failed at one point from that. So I think they're being very cautious, but when they're being cautious, they're being money grubby, And like their services, their online service that's mixed in with their emulation service, like where you have to buy like access to the emulator for old games, is, in my opinion, instead of just being able to put $15 down to own, let's say, Mario 64, which I think that'd be reasonable, $15 for that. Sure, awesome. That's like a freaking free money at this point. I think it's theft what they're doing. Is that, oh, you have to pay a service fee or a monthly fee to have access to this emulated system that we stole from, I mean, they borrowed it from open source emulators to do their own game, is beyond greed. So I have very little sympathy for Nintendo, because if they really wanted to show that they at least, I don't mind paying for things, but there's when you do certain things that don't match up with the price that they're asking, becomes money grubby and corrupt. And I do think their IPs are definitely worth it. I think they would potentially make a lot more money if they open up to other platforms. So that's why I say I think it's about money. It's also about control. But I think if they open up to more platforms, I honestly think they do really well. But yeah, because Mario games, all the Nintendo first-party titles are banger titles. So, let's see here. Cascoder, PlayStation is effectively an American company. They shut down most of their Japanese studios. Oh, did they? I did not know that. Well, Sony is not. Sony's a Japanese company, but PlayStation is run over here more. That's good to know. Cascoder, Reichi, $150 to $200 used PC gives you 1080 60 frames on Legend of Zelda. $350 Switch gives you 500p 720 24. I think that's a little Reichi. I think that's a little. I'm not sure about that, those numbers, but I haven't tried looking for a system like that. Yeah, no problem, J-Bro. Yeah, Necrosphere, I think that's a good point, too. We also talk about this stuff in the Games Revealed Discord, which I'm getting more into it. I'm lurking less, but yes. Wolf, Razer, the Orochi V2 mobile wireless gaming mouse. Yes, thank you. And then, yeah. Yep, that's it, Wolf. Thank you so much. Fumbuter, welcome. Okay, awesome. Necrosphere, the converter of people to the Discord. We need more people. We need to be. I need to talk more in there. Honestly, I will do my best to chat more in there. I will be. Yeah. Should I give a sneak peek of my game? Like, I have other prototypes, other whatever, but I'm gonna show you guys a sneak peek. I'm gonna do a video on this for another channel, but I'll show you at the end of this the sneak peek of my game. Okay. They talk about the encryption being broken here more and more. Once again, like I said, unless it's for certain things, if I buy the product, I should be able to break the encryption depending on what it is. Now, I will say, then they talk about it down here a little bit of a lawsuit being won by I do apologize with my voice. Destiny 2 cheat makers. So Destiny 2 won it was like a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against people that are making cheat makers for Destiny 2. Now, once again, I think this is why we need more laws encased for this. And I think people are not going to like this, but if this is an online game and it's predicated on fairness of how the system operates, and you make a cheat for it to either get to circumvent that is, or to just aimbot people, I full on think that is illegal. Meaning you're ruining the experience of everyone else of that game. Should be illegal. Full on execution. No, not execution. I don't even know if it should be that big of a whatever. I guess it just depends, like, how much money they made. Just take that money away from them. I don't like that. Like, in the sense of, if you're hacking in a game, you can just F right off. That is an online game. And that's where the law is going to be a little hard to distinguish, but I think we do need more protections. As if you've ever played a game, I don't know if you guys have played a game where it has a lot of hackers and bots in it. It's not fun. It ruins the experience, and it pretty much ruins the game that you bought. It's the same as, like, the developer saying, hey, we'll release this game. We're not going to make any more updates. The servers are going down. It's useless after, let's say, 3 months. It would be similar. Like, that developer also needs to either they need to restart those servers up, or they need to release that source code so someone else can host that. We need protections here. We need, I think legitimately these need to be protections that are implemented to protect the ownership of games and products. The successful like the WoW glider, I can't remember what this one did. This one modified. I don't know if there's some, like, modifications to games, even online ones, where I'm like, that's a little much to, like, to sue someone over. But yeah, I mean, they go over a lot of the same stuff that people have gone over for years on this whole thing. But if Nintendo wins this, it does set a dangerous precedence, because what happens when you win lawsuits, it sets up for future laws or how future lawsuits are going. So if, let's say, Sony wants to now sue another emulator for saying, hey, this is a PlayStation 1 game or emulator, and you're emulating. We have the case over here that Nintendo won on the Switch. They can take that precedence and just win the lawsuit. Oftentimes, a court might just rule already because it's a done deal. If they can frame it in just the same way, it's a done deal. So that's the dangerous precedence that I'm talking about, and is real. Like, there really is a dangerous precedence with this. That being said, I get it. We should prevent more piracy. But if I want to play the games on my computer, then I should be able to allow it. We need a compromise here, and I'd be willing to compromise in some form or fashion with this. But I don't think going after Yuzu is the right way to do this. Necrosphere, you want to see my game? Okay, I'll show it at the end of this. Don't mind me cheating on single player games, but not. Yeah, no one cares about that. If you're cheating on a single player game, no one cares. If the game is meant to be fair against other players, that's like PvP, and it has to be distinguished probably with PvP, probably with PvE also. Then there needs to be some laws and some stuff put into place with this. Maybe like a restraining order. The person can't play that game anymore. That honestly would be the easiest way to go about it. Necrosphere, you've got an unfair advantage of others. Call of Duty, bro. I used to live it. Now I hate it. I wanted to switch until I got a Steam Deck. Now, Switches are awesome. Steam Decks are better. Yeah, so I don't have a whole lot else. There's more to this article. I'll throw it in here for you guys. It's pretty good. It's definitely looking like Nintendo has a stronger case here. But I don't, just because there's already been so many cases on this, there's just a chance that this just won't go anywhere, like a good chance. But if Yuzu runs out of money and they can't defend themselves properly, then it could end up going in Nintendo's favor. What they might end up doing is just locking up Yuzu's development for a while. So there's a lot of things that are going to be taken into account with this. So be weary of all this. And if you really care about the Yuzu emulator, go donate to their Patreon, which, let's go look at their Patreon. I swear I've donated at one point to it, but oh, I really thought this would have been upped. 30,000 a month is pretty good, but how many developers do they have? I don't even remember. So let's see here. I don't know. It's been a while. Like, oh, they haven't even published in a while. They're just getting okay, cool. Surprised they haven't said anything. I mean, the Yuzu emulator is probably doing pretty good, and they're not doing too much on it right now. Okay. As far as my voice being able to handle talking, I have other videos, but I don't have anything to talk about. If there's anything you guys want to talk about, you have any questions, let me know. Sounds like Boombooter's chilling, which is awesome. I have been playing. We'll go into like some of my updates and kind of the stuff I'm going in, unless you guys have something to give to me. Necrosphere, didn't Sony lose to Bleem twice for the same type of lawsuit? I don't know if Nintendo will win this though. No, Nintendo's fought all this stuff multiple times. That's the thing. They always find some different take, so they can take a different, take on how it's affecting them to take it to court. So we'll see. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see how this turns out. It's definitely not good if Nintendo wins, though. I think it's going to further solidify we're not going to own our own stuff, and we're just going to be a renting society. It really is. It's as much as people don't want to think this. This type of stuff is essentially submitting end game capitalism kind of stuff. End game capitalism is essentially where you don't own anything and you rent everything. Rent a house, you rent your software, you rent your media, you rent your car, you rent everything. Which is honestly very dangerous, because once that comes into play, there's less competition, and then you're dictated on how much you can pay, and there's just nothing. There's just nothing left. So it's very dangerous. That's what I think with all the Yuzu stuff. Obviously, I'm very much going into socioeconomical stuff with America, but yeah. Necrosphere's been playing Last Epic. It's been very fun so far. It looks really fun, honestly. Necrosphere, I'll just convert to being a full PC gamer. F consoles, then yeah. Honestly, I mainly cover PC games. I'll probably still buy a Switch too, partially because I do all this stuff. But PC's my main go-to if I can buy anything. In fact, I've been waiting for PlayStation titles for PC for now. Like, for Horizon Forbidden West, I have not bought yet, and it's coming out in a month or two. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, Last Epic, I've been keeping an eye on. That looks really fun. Coda, I really hate Nintendo. They make more than enough money to not care about shit like this. So it's really down to them wanting to be scumbags. It's a multi-faceted issue. Nintendo does also need to set precedent. Like, so they need to protect copyright. So depending what's going on, if a company's copying another game, pretty much full, like using all the art assets and everything like that, and a company doesn't defend that long enough, it sets a precedence that if some other companies can do that, and if that company never defends their copyright, then it can become, I think, fair use and become less easy to defend in the future. So from my understanding of law, like, once again, my understanding of law comes from, I took a business law class in college, and I worked in the law department writing their software for them at a company. That's it. Wouldn't say it's very complex. Like, I have a very comprehensive law background. But I do have some. So they need to protect it. So Nintendo, but like I said, Japanese companies are suing, special developers are suing people for creating mods for their games and winning. So I think it's a control issue. I think it's a money issue. I think it's it's a scumbag issue at the end of the day. Like, they make enough money. They could come up with a compromise. The thing is, if they had a compromise, formed a different way of just like, taking Yuzu down, I would be like, okay, then it's not all about money. But I would probably say, like Hoda, it's probably more about them money, because the way they're going about it, no compromise at all. Rachie, I'd rather have a king than a president elected by corpos. They're the same thing. Here's the thing. Consolidated power is bad. A king is just consolidated power, depending on how Dukes and all that go into it. Corpos are the same thing. Like right now, we're really near because of a lot of things that we allow here in America. We are very close to just, and that's why I actually believe like we need to get away from this saying that like America is a democratic republic, and saying, oh no, it's just a republic. Like a lot of people want to say it's just a republic. It's both, but we need to go more to democratic side of things. Republic is closer to kings and kingdoms and all that. But once again, this is not that type of podcast. So I just know as I get older, I care about these things more. It will happen to you too, guys. So partially also I have kids. Okay, so I want to talk about two more things, and then we're going to move on. Maybe one more thing. Helldivers 2. I don't know if you guys have played it yet. This game is awesome. I've just been playing it by myself. And it's been not too bad. Hasn't been hard. It's got the whole democracy thing. Like, it's like, what did it say? Like, democracy got you or something. I can't even. Okay. My memory is shot when it comes to playing these things. Raichi's playing it right now. It's the things that they say in it are just awesome. They're just awesome. I love it. Okay. Well, let's do this before my voice gives out. I'm going to show you the game. Let's load up everything. I apologize. Like I said, my throat has been having issues on and off for a couple weeks now. And I had strep, but I've been over strep for like a week now. It's just like, now it's just dry, hard to talk for long amounts of time. Okay. Am I going to lose my one true calling, my voice? You'll never get another voice. I'd have to sign everything. I have a lot of different prototypes, but this is the one that I'm creating right now, just so I have a sense of where things are going to be of the game. Don't laugh. So what I'm doing is doing a very rudimentary prototype. I want to know kind of what the level is like, because it's going to be kind of like a one level around 4 to 5 hour game. It's a prequel or a prelude to the game I actually want to make, but I want to release something. So if you've never been here before, let's see. Actually, I don't need this open. Let's take that out. So I'm using Unreal. This is my editor of choice. I'm gonna move my hold up. Move my chat up to here. Oh, come on. Chat doesn't like being in here. Yeah. It is what it is. I'll just move it over here. So, they have more prototyping tools now in Unreal Engine. This is the Unreal Engine. You can see I went really pretty, but this is going to get all replaced. So I went really chunky, really large for the reason of I am going to be like putting in rooms here and putting stuff in and modeling this out. As I do have some models, I will be also creating some models. I can also create like glass from I can put material and stuff on these blocks if I want to have a better understanding of how things are going to look. I know it looks super funny like this. It looks super funny. This will be reduced down. The whole point of this is I'm not a level designer. I'm a programmer by trade. When it comes to the programming portions, I'm great at it. But I'm learning more of the level design. That's probably level design and designing models and meshes and stuff like that. The corridor I'm working on, which will be able to be flooded with water, it will have a walkway right here up to a certain point, and one of the ways of cleaning out areas will be with flooding it with water. It'll be fun. I'm going to have a lot of fun with corridors in this ship. You can see this is massive. The whole point is this is a cargo ship. I'm going to be cutting things out. There'll be atrium over here for oxygen generation. There's gonna be a whole tram system right here, and I'm gonna be cutting this down. So don't worry. Like, don't think that this like massive thing is gonna be like this. Once I start putting in assets and putting meshes together, I might even get rid of the whole hall and replace it. This is just a concept of for me right now in the prototyping. So yeah, the concept is potentially you can have multiple. There'll be multiple sections, and I'm more of a consumer myself over a level designer. Yeah, Rachie. So you got shipping containers that are attached to it, and you're going to be able to enter it, and each one's going to be a different corpo or different type. Some will have humans that are in transport. So let's say like if you've ever flown like economy, this will be the new economy. To fly from planet to planet is to be shipped in one of these containers with a bunch of people cryo-frozen. And that will play into some of the enemies that we're going to have fun with. So it's probably honestly going to end up being like a horror game. I didn't really plan on it being a horror game, but it's probably going to end up being a little bit more horror-esque. So I can go through, I'm playing around with that. Once again, I have other prototypes. This is my newest one, and this is most likely the one I'm going to ship this year when I do my tech demo. So the tech demo will most likely, and this is like, I've not talked about this before, so you guys are getting a true sneak peek on this, will be the area over here, the, what is this freaking called? Let's see, I'll zoom over here. Essentially the flight deck, whatever you want to call it, where the controls happen, it will not look like this. Trust me. Like the outside could. I'm not caring about the outside as much. It's about the inside. So yeah, this is definitely going to be a lot more instruments hanging around. Think Dead Space meets there's another game that's space oriented. It will be a mix between those two, and inspiration wise. Let's see here. Maybe some Half-Life-esque stuff, but Half-Life is not the best one for referencing ships and stuff. So Atrium will also be in the demo, most likely. This will be living quarters. Probably will be in it. And then I don't know about anything else that will be in the tech demo. I just need enough to sell people and then to sell the rest of the game. So, yeah. This prototype I've worked on. I've worked on other prototypes the past few months, but this is the one that I've started on in the past week. So, and this is most likely going to be the prototype that ends up as a tech demo. Okay, J-Bro, do you use the keyboard and mouse you suggested for your PC as well? I don't use it for my main PC. My main PC, I'm using an 8-bit Duo. 8-bit Duo, whatever it's called. I actually have a review that I need to get released. I made it like 3 months ago, right before I got like sick. That made me sick for like a month. It's been a rough year. I can't do the sickness stuff anymore. But yeah, I use that, and then I use G502 Lightspeed mouse. I really like the Logitech mice. I used to do more, I did Logitech, and then I switched over to Razer for a few years, and I found that Logitech is just like the perfect grip. It's a lot of professionals use, and they don't die as much. So I really like it. I need to get the Lightspeed mat for it so I can charge on the mat, but yeah, one day. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Like the corridor is going to have a lot to it. I'm so sorry. Like I said, flushing, maybe a tentacle or two in it. We're going to get space octopi up on all this. You know, me and my tenties. I'm kidding. I think it'll be pretty fun. Enough to demonstrate what I'm doing in this game. So I do want to get a vending machine also. So it's like, because I like the concept. So Dead Space has a dystopian future to it. It's a dystopian utopian like mixed kind of future where everything is still run by nitty gritty and all that. Like when you're in the Planet Breaker, like I can't even say it now. Frick. Hiroshima. Damn. It's very gritty. People still have accidents. It feels like you're in the coal mines almost again. I'm not going to go that hardcore, but you're going to be buying stuff. You're going to be earning things. This corpo does not give away stuff, even if it is to save your life. So it'll be fun. I'm going to have a lot of fun with that. Yeah. Once again, there'll probably be a mix of like zombie-esque / plant-based creatures in it. I have a huge game design doc on this, but I don't have... once I build it and see how things flow with it, we'll see how crazy I get with this. So, I haven't released any videos yet, but on Game Dev Revealed is a new channel that I've created. I will be doing, game development related updates there. And then on the Brink channel, you can see a devlog there and my gameplay and all my other stuff. Anything else? Honestly, if it's not related directly to Games Revealed of like it's a game coming out, it's some hardware, then it's going to be on the Brink channel. If it's heavily in the game development world, then it'll be in the Game Dev Revealed. So, yeah. And I'm finally doing the splitting of channels. I'm tired of this, everything being globbed into one channel. Most of this stuff's still going to be here, but I'll reference it in posts and stuff. So anything else you guys want to talk about? Or is this it? I mean, I showed you the game. Do you have any questions? I know it's nothing crazy. I think you'd be surprised though. I have a lot of assets and I have a lot, I do need to make some custom assets. I do plan on. Bro, yeah, this is my game that I'm working on. Conceptually it's been in the works for years, but, prototype-wise, I've done on and off for a while, but this is, honestly, the way that I'm doing this, the way that it's working out, this is going to be the final prototype. My vision, you guys can't see this, you see a white box that looks like it was made in the 90s. I have some custom modeling I need to do with Blender, potentially. But yes, this is my game. Tech demo-wise will probably be out at the end of the year. Officially releasing, I don't know. I want to get the tech demo out, see what I can do funding wise, because I need a creative director. Beyond that, though, I don't know who else I'm going to hire, because this is going to be a prelude, or a prequel to the actual game I want to make, or this is going to be a lot shorter, I should say, and will directly impact the next game. So I have it all set up. Necrosphere, I think the concept is good so far. Yeah, the concept, like, if you like Dead Space, or if you like the concept of fixing up a ship, because the ship, and I'm probably going to have 2 modes. Like, if you're on easy or like story mode, you're going to have to make sure the ship doesn't fall apart. If you're on the normal mode, or like just normal, regular, medium difficulty, then you'll have a lot more horror aspects to it, like creatures that are going to be a lot scarier. So the whole concept is you're fixing up the ship. You're going to have to go to terminals. You're going to have to monitor things. If you shoot too much of the hull, you can damage it. You need to find material to repair that. And that thus comes into play. Like, you have containers that you can go and get stuff to repair, or enemies can come from, or you just crack it open to see what's in there. So it's going to be fun. I mean, it's going to be a really fun game for me to make. I don't know if it's going to be whatever, but I'll probably have more updates for this game in the Bunny Strike Studios. Bunny Strike Studios is like the overarching dev studios, whatever I do for this channel and for game development more, though. But yeah, there is a Bunny Strike Discord, which I'm going to be doing more updates there. So my time's going to be split. I'm going to be doing a lot more news items on the Games Revealed. I will be doing some list videos. Like, I like doing, I have the RG Ally, like what you need to know about the RG Ally to get started. I want to do that video. Then anything that's like truly tutorial, though, I will probably stick into the hardware revealed, as I want to get away from that in the Games Revealed, as it's hard for me to do those consistently. So I will stick to those being done like once a week in hardware revealed. Then I'll be doing devlogs once a week on the Brink channel, and then I will be doing game dev news and other stuff like that to just keep my brain going with all that in the Game Dev Revealed channel. So I know it's a lot of channels. It will all equal out to probably a couple of videos a week for each channel. So probably doing a video every day. For now, thank you for joining, J-Bro. Trey Watkins, this sucks. I have bought over 1,000 physical Switch games, not buying another until this lawsuit is dropped. Yeah, Trey, I don't blame you, man. It really does suck. I can't wait for the Steam Deck too. And also with this, yeah, it's really big though. I'll have to stream. So there's a couple of technologies I can do to stream this in the sense of levels, streaming levels in. So if you're like on SSD, you don't have to wait for loading times and all that. I'm going to really try hard to make this Steam Deck compatible. And Unreal even has a whole section, which maybe I should do a game dev video on this for game developers, to showcase how you can test your game, get Unreal running on the Steam Deck, and then test it on the Steam Deck to make sure it runs well on the Steam Deck. So I will be making sure that this is Steam Deck compatible since day one. And you see how big this is. Even if I have to break this up into small sections and streaming those sections in, I'm going to make it Steam Deck compatible. So note that it will be that. Graphically, will probably be like decent. It's not going to be like cutting edge, but it'll be decent enough. Okay. Rachie, will there be a wolf companion or a wolf plush Easter egg? There should be. Rachie, I think there should be a wolf one, right? Maybe in the because I'm gonna have a little vending machine right here where you can purchase upgrades and stuff like that. Maybe you can purchase a little plush keychain or something like that. Slap it on the gun. It wouldn't be that hard to actually modify a gun. Let's see. I don't actually have any. I need to either create a gun or what I'm doing. So yeah. If we look at one of these. I could slap a keychain right here on a gun. I'm not going to use this gun. This is a starter gun. This is just for showcases. I can slap a keychain right there, and it wouldn't be that hard to untach it with a blueprint. So yeah, I could do that. It'd be a fun little thing. What game does keychains on the gun? There's a game that does that. That's where I got the idea from. So I like that though. Or I could just have a little wolf plushie hanging around. I could do it. Honestly, that would be a fun. So I do want to do a Patreon or a Kickstarter of this. Maybe one of the rewards like for early access, like for people that are early to help fund the game. Because I want to get further, like that's the point of the tech demo, is to show that, hey, this is going to get done. The deck rebuild project is working. I opened it up the other day. I've been working on it. I promised I was going to get an update out. It's not working right now. There's issues, server issues that I was worried about, and I just need to fix those now. I am going to get that working again, but I know I quit accepting donations and all that on that because I just didn't know when I was going to be able to pick that back up with everything that was going on last year. I don't know about that one, but for this is last year I spent 8 months unemployed looking for jobs and not doing enough on the Games Revealed YouTube. I was just like, Deck Revealed even I wasn't doing. I did a lot actually with Deck Revealed. But I got to the end of the year last year and I was really disappointed thinking if I had 8 months again, no questions asked, I could get the game I wanted to prototype stage to get it funded through publishers, Kickstarters, Patreon, or whatever. Sorry, my nose is so itchy right now. So I'm sorry. Like the prototyping that you see right here is the concept is to see how materials match, how sizes match. It will not be this size. It will be things once placed in will look a lot smaller, and then I'll rip apart the outside. So just to reiterate that. Yeah, it'll be a fun game. Even if you don't like horror, I think you'll like what I'm making. Okay. That's really it for me. I do like like some of these concepts that you guys have asked for. No, you're good, Jay Bro. Necrosphere understands. Okay, we're done. I'm going to lose my voice at this rate if I don't stop. I recorded 3 videos today too, so that could be a part of the problem. Let's see here. Any last things you want to say, or forever hold your peace? I would maybe play Helldivers too on here, but I am going to pass out. Not pass. My voice is going to pass out. It's going to die. Jay, bro, drink some medicine. I could maybe, but I really don't like the way it messes with my sleeping at night. Thank you, HE, for the Canadian, for not the French Canadian. Yes, Canadians have their own language. Necrosphere, I want to make a pixel art game. Do it, man. Pixel art games are cool. Oh my gosh, they're not for me. I'm 100%. I want to make this is gonna be first person, but I am gonna tinker with third person mode. So I'll do both. Like, consider the cool thing about Unreal is they give you really good starter kits for both. I'll tinker with both though. And I do think as I get further along, meaning in like 4 months, I'll probably open up a Patreon that will have you guys helping me with it. So, okay, I'm done. For democracy, we're going to go spread democracy by force to the world, to the universe, for Super Earth. Peace out, guys. Later. Make sure to like, subscribe, bash that bell with your crowbar. I will try. Jay, bro, dude, if you have questions, ask them in Discord, man. Peace out, guys. Later.